Okay, Shalom Akim, Kohalaim Na, Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Kodash, and double on Instagram from the Apostles. Thought I'll share for the strength in order to make this video. And Shalom to you, Aki, once more, man. Yahawashi, Brakatham. It's the brother Ratazar Raha, Halawaya. And this video is based upon Yahawashi has always been watching over us, man. Because the fact that in this time we do need faith, of course, no doubt, as the scriptures say, Yahawashi will maintain it that way. That Yahawashi is always currently watching over us, anyways, man. In our weakness, in our strength, when we're humbled, and of course, when we're in certain times of pride, man. Whether it be to teach you a lesson, man. Whatever state that you may be in, the point is that Yahawashi is always watching us. And of course, Yahawashi that as we learn in this truth, we're getting guided and we get stronger, man. To the point where we endure Jacob's trouble and overcome the demons and overcome the challenges to get to the point of salvation, man. So, again, that's just to establish the point of this video being the fact that Yahawashi was always watching us, and we'll bring some examples as well, man. It should be a simple video. But I'm going to read the precept from another, from out here, instead of me putting it here, but so the focal point can be on the chariot, because that is the source of salvation, man. The chariot. That's why I'm using this image. So I'm gonna get the preset right now, because I did say he's always watching over us, man. So we're going to camp, as we're going to our houses as well. As we meet with brothers during the week as well. Different situations, even on our own, he's still watching over us too. Alright, so let's get this. And we gotta maintain that faith, man. Remember, he is divine and we are the branches. So he is the life force, which is running through our veins, man, running through our spirits. And he's the one keeping us alive. So this is Matthew 18 and 20. It says here, "For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, which is Yahawashi, meaning he delivers, there am I in the midst of them." So of course, when 2 or 3 brothers are gathered, literally, physically, could be obviously in spirit anyways, when we do StreamYard lessons as well, StreamYard, StreamYard lessons or StreamYard sit-down lessons, to learn. Yahawashi is there in the presence, man, always watching. As it says here once more, Matthew 18 and 20, "For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them." And of course, through the faith in Yahawashi as well, we know that he's still protecting us even when we're on our own as well, man. Again, through faith, as I said. Well, of course, it's even stronger when 2 or 3 are gathered, man. His presence is even stronger. So, that's Matthew 18 and 20. And there's even an Old Testament example as well of Yahawashi being present. We could bring out the one where he was guiding Israel. I'm going to get a quick preset for that one. And then we'll go and get another one as well from Daniel 3, where he was present to protect Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who rejected to worship the image of King Nebuchadnezzar. And yeah, man, that's a very similar case to what the men of Yahawashi will have to do in this in this modern era now, where Esau Edom would then try and get people to worship him through taking a mark, man. Which is that chip thing, that implant. So what it will be, let me just get the preset right now for the fact that he was hovering over us as well, man. And Daniel 3 probably the final preset I'm gonna get. Should be in Wisdom of Solomon 18. See, this is Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 3. It says, "Instead whereof," which is really in reference to the Israelites, by the way, this Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 3. "Instead whereof thou gavest them a burning pillar of fire both to be a guide of the unknown journey and an harmless son to entertain them honorably. So, of course, as the scriptures say, I think within the book of Exodus, probably around, trying to think, around chapter 14 or 15, 15, 16, 17, around there, from between chapter 14 to chapter 17, where, before the Most High then gave them water, gave them bread, around those areas. The chariot, there was a pillar of fire by night, and then obviously, as a light, well, it's a lot actually, yeah, pillar of fire by night, and as a cloud by day, roughly paraphrasing that one. Wisdom of Solomon 18:3 is simply just an extra precept to support that. And in that chariot, that burning pillar of fire, as I read in Wisdom of Solomon 18, verse 3, I'll read it again. Instead whereof thou gavest them a burning pillar of fire, of course, in the night, both to be a guide of the unknown journey, unknown journey, because Israel just had to have faith, man. Really, Moses was the one that the Most High was using, Yahweh was using in order to guide them, or to lead them physically. But of course, Yahawashi was also there in spirit, through the chariots. He was the angel there. He was also guiding Israel alongside the journey, man. As it says in Wisdom of Solomon 18:3. So it's a proof that he was in the chariot. We can get this precept here. Let me get it quickly. 1 Corinthians 10. I'll read from verse 1 to 4. But the key part is in verse 4. So 1 Corinthians 10, verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud. Again, chariot, man. And these chariots here, man, they can cloak up to be clouds. They can cloak up to be pillars of fire as well in the night, to be glowing in the night. They can take various forms, man. Let me read on. So 1 Corinthians 10 and 1. And moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Hamashiach Yahawashi. So of course that's the proof right there that Yahawashi followed Israel in that chariot, to guide them in their journey, man. As they were journeying, away from Egypt, really towards the promised land. So that's the point right there in 1 Corinthians 10 verse 4. And it says, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Hamashiach Yahawashi, man. So Yahawashi was there, man, when a whole load of Israelites were gathered there, man. And things they didn't even know Yahawashi back then. Yahawashi was just there as an angel in the spirit until Yahawashi came into the real physical scene in Matthew, chapter 1, when he was born. So of course he was there. He was always there in the spirit, man. That's the point. The spiritual things conquer the physical, anyways. That's why things start spiritually prior to them being manifest in the physical realm. So that's 1 Corinthians 10 verse 1 to 4. Now I said I was gonna get so I read Wisdom of Solomon 11 verse 18. 18 verse 3, which supports which it links to 1 Corinthians 10 verse 1 to 4. I said I wanted to get something else as well. Daniel chapter 3, yeah, because this is the faith that we ought to have in Yahawashi, well, in Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, in these times to come, and when the MOTB comes, man. There'll be a place where we're going to be in that constant state of discomfort, man. We're going to have to find comfort in being uncomfortable. Just like the way Yahawashi was finding comfort when he was in the ships, man, whilst the storm was going on in the sea, before his mate woke him up, his disciples. So it's the same way we're going to need to find comfort in the discomfort. Get used to it, which is pretty much what I'm saying. So Daniel 3, I'll read verse 14. So Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? So of course he was questioning, the three guys, the three boys, man. Really three brothers, of whom were not worshipping his images, man, his idols. It says golden image which I have set up. So says in verse 15, Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hands? So of course, after questioning them, they're saying he's pretty much giving them another chance. All right, the next time when the flute comes up or the music comes in, if you could worship them, worship the golden image, and then be well with those brothers, in his eyes, but it wouldn't be well with the Most High. So of course, this was a test. This was a major exam of faith, man. Examination of faith. So, yeah, and it says if they didn't worship it, then they'll be cast into the burning fiery furnace. That's in Daniel 3:15. So verse 16 now, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. It says, if it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. He will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. So that the three brothers Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were saying to the king Nebuchadnezzar that it says in verse 17, if it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us. So they're saying if it's Yahweh's will that for them to be delivered, then it says, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. They're going to be delivered out of the hand of the Nebuchadnezzar. But if it be not Yahweh's will that they're going to be saved, then of course they're still not going to flip and serve the idols, man, the golden image. So it's that it was a matter of what is Yahweh's will. So ultimately they were remaining humble about it, man. So Daniel 3:19, then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was once to be heated. So of course, when it says his visage changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, just imagine the facial expression, man. The spirit changed in that time. It was like, yep, the anger is there. And it was like, yeah, just heat it 7 times more than it was initially supposed to be heated. That's what verse 19 means. So Daniel 3:20, and he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot. The flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And it says here in verse 24, then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and which basically means astonished, and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. And by the way, Salaki, I probably missed it a little bit. In verse 22, it actually mentioned about those who put them in the fire actually got burnt, man. And it says here, therefore, because the king's commandment This is Daniel 3 and 22. Therefore, the king's commandment, therefore, because of the king's commandment, was urgent. So, soldiers were rushing. And the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So the soldiers got burnt up themselves. They got done out. So back to verse 25. Actually, let me read verse 24. So Daniel 3 and 24. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. Yeah. Verse 25. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose. So they were tripping. Well, they probably thought they were tripping. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the son of the Most High. So that's evidence in itself, man. That was Yahawashi. He was protecting them. He was the angel of whom was protecting those who had faith in the Most High Yahweh, man. And this was way before Yahawashi came into the scene, but he was already in the scene spiritually. So Daniel 3 and 26. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake, says Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High power. So he was giving them their respects now. Come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, and captains, and king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who hath sent his angel and delivered his servants. That angel was Yahawashi, by the way, and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any power except their own power, which is Yahweh. Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other power. Which, when I say power for any new brothers as well, whenever you may come across this video, is like it's the same thing as saying God, but we say power as well, because in the Hebrew, God we say Allah, which is AHLA, which means power as well. So interchangeably, you can say Most High, you could say God, or you could say power, man. In terms of literal, I think the term is called transliteration. So yeah. There is no other power that can deliver after this sort than the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon, man. You know, back in the day, even the flipping king had to respect their power, man. Had to respect the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, which was Yahweh, man. You had to respect that. And of course, Yahushua was there in presence in order to um, allow for that glory and praise to be put on Yahweh as well. So, literally, the first priesthood I got, I think it was Matthew 18 and 20, about where 2 and 3 are gathered in my name, Yahawashi. Of course, in our case, it will be Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashi. There will Yahawashi be present also. And this Daniel 3, verse 14 to 30 story about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is a literal supporter for that precept, man, Matthew 18 and 20. Because there were 3 of them, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They had faith in Yahweh. And of course, Yahushua was there in the midst of them because of their faith, ultimately. Same way we got to have faith through these stories that we do here, that Yahushua will protect us in these times and will be in the midst of us in a time where it may seem as though we're going to be in danger. But really, we all know that we're going to either go back to the spirit realm or we're going to be revived, man, and it won't affect us at all. So, and who knows, Yahushua could also bless you with spiritual power to deal with whoever was trying to cast you into death, man, because we're in that time where judgment will be ramped up. But yeah, the focus today was really that Yahawashi was always with us, man. So Yaratazar, that you've understood the lesson, and uh, things were clarified, man, in that aspect of Yahawashi being present from the beginning, really, from the old times up till now, and the faith that we need in these times, that Yahawashi will still be with us, and Yaharatazar we endure to the end, and we're strengthened, man. So yeah, Kahalalim La Yahabashim Yashabashim Hawakudash, double on the screams and apostles, and Shalom once more. It's the brother Ratazar Raha, Halawaya.